and welcome. Let's just take one deep breath together. Drop in, be here right now. I'm so happy to be seen by your light, super blessed and grateful right now in this moment. I'm outside on my patio. It's beautiful. Today we are going to be talking about 5 things that may be limiting us in our overall lives. And I'm going to also be sharing some tips to kind of help you become aware and really heal these parts of you. The reason I wanted to make this video is because I have been going through so many aspects of myself that I've been realizing are just limiting me to the abundance and the life that I want to live. So if you feel like there's just something you can't get through, maybe it's one of these things on this list. Maybe you're here for a reason. I believe everything happens for a reason, and that is just my truth, but maybe different for you. So just know that these are just suggestions and things that have worked for me. If they work for you, awesome, but just keep that in mind. Number 1 is rules that you set for yourself, or rules set by society in general. They're kind of like things that you live by. So saying that, oh, the only way I can make this much money is if I do this type of job. So things like that, or the only way I'm able to get this far in this career, I have to go to school. So these are just rules that we put on ourselves, and they can really go in any aspect of life, as far as like maybe relationships. Just saying that the only way, maybe I realized this, like the only way I would be fully loved is if I was put as a priority in someone's life. And that isn't love. Just making someone a priority and just putting them above yourself is not true unconditional love. Like, you have to have that love for yourself. So that is something I personally realized, which made me really think about and become aware that I was limiting my ability to receive all of this love from my loved ones, because I had this idea that if people weren't putting me as a priority as I did to them, that they didn't really love me, even though they did. Stuff like that. And when you put it out there and say it out loud, it might sound a little like, really? Do I really think that? Is this true? Like, no, it doesn't have to be true. So these are just rules that maybe society puts on us, saying that we have to go to school for certain things. Maybe any figures that or people that you look up to, maybe they have rules for their own lives and you're adopting them. So just coming to realize, and it may come to you at different moments in your life. So it may not come to you real quick, like, okay, I just want to figure out like what rules I'm putting on myself that is holding me back. You can ask that, and that can actually get you in a place to become aware when they do come up. But as you live your life, as we will talk about for this whole thing, is the only way to really be aware of what is happening and what you're telling yourself is by just being present in the moment. And it will come up, and it will come up if you are ready for it, and it will come up when you are doing the personal work. So you just sitting here watching this video, like, it's there. The knowledge is there. You already know what's up. It's just about bringing awareness to it and moving forward to really let yourself know, like, this does not have to be true for me right now. This does not need to, I don't need to hold on to this anymore. It's not serving me anymore. So just being aware of maybe some rules that you put on yourself, even if it's like, oh, I have to do this one thing before I do this. Like, our paths aren't really structured in that way, okay? Life isn't really structured in that way. It's just society and what a lot of people are used to. So maybe going against the grain may feel a little scary and a little different, but just know that maybe you have a different path. Maybe there's a different order that you need to go by. So just keeping that in mind. Number 2 is your story. So the story that you tell yourself. The I am story. What are you? How do you define your life and your experiences? What makes up you? Some of us have a very positive story, even if we had very tragic or traumatic things happen to us. It could just be a mix of things. Like, we all go through such unique experiences that really shape our lives and mold us to who we are today. Not saying that we need to really identify with our past, because that can get a little messy, but it's kind of seeing our past as more empowering for us to live in today, is what's really going to empower you to rise above any negativity in your life. There's noise, I'm gonna wait. It might not go away. Sound should be fine. Okay, let's see. So the story that we tell ourselves, whether that be negative or positive, is impactful on either limiting us or allowing us to really grow and expand everything in our lives. So just how do you talk to yourself? What is your story? Are you able to share it in a way that is empowering? Are you able to just share it in a way that kind of puts you in that like self-victimizing or self-pity type of way? So just knowing and owning up to your story, even if it's hard for you to just kind of own up to bad experiences in life, just remember that it's you. This is your life, this is your path, this is your journey. Don't feel bad for the things that have happened to you. That's only going to hold you back in the future. So just owning up to your story is a process. It really is a process to owning up to the things that have happened to you or from you in your life. So just know that this is one aspect that could be limiting you because you're still holding on to something in the past, or something in the past you're not allowing to be present. And that may just be something that you need to release or just actually experience, which can be really tough for certain experiences. But just knowing that if you own up to your story in your past, it's going to open so many doors in the future for new things to happen. We don't want to be tied down to the past, is basically what I'm trying to say. So really own up to who you are, what you've been through. Just be like, yes, this happened. Yes, this happened. It's okay. Here I am now. I'm alive. Like, I'm going to be present in it. I'm going to say be present like a lot because that's the whole thing. So yes, your story may be something that is limiting you based on how you see your story, based on if you are avoiding things in your past. How would you tell a complete stranger your story and where you are now? Being able to just think about that can really empower you. You're alive, you're here, it's okay. Everything's okay. So your story is important. Own up to it. You got it. It's you. It's beautiful and it's magic. Number 3 is beliefs. So self-limiting beliefs. I'm sure you've heard of it. These beliefs that we have about literally anything in our lives, it kind of ties to number 1 as far as the rules that we have for ourselves. But these beliefs actually rule how we live our lives. And sometimes these beliefs are made up from our childhood. So from ages to like 0 to 5, we are really just sponges and we're taking up all of this information and giving meaning to certain situations that we otherwise wouldn't give big meanings to today. So we may be going through things or noticing things, and just if we look back at the past, if we could just like literally just like look in a book and flip back, we'll see that we can actually tie a lot of like triggers and situations and just reasons for how we do things and how we live our lives and how we make decisions based on our past, based on our childhood, based on certain experiences that we just give meaning to. So sometimes we don't intentionally mean to do this. It just kind of happens. So these beliefs could be set at an early age, and the only way to really become aware of these beliefs is to really get into some self-study. So whatever that means for you, try not to take it too seriously because beliefs are huge, okay? They will literally shake up your world to create a new one, to open you up to more possibilities instead of holding on to maybe a belief that isn't serving you anymore. So this belief could be maybe that you need validation before you can move forward in something. Maybe you need to ask for permission for certain things, and maybe that's just not what you need. So that's just an example. That's something that I realized about myself, was that I always needed validation, or I always needed to ask if something was good. I never trusted myself. So I kind of, based on a past experience or multiple experiences when I was a child, there was a moment when I just decided I needed to know what was right so I could fit in, because I felt I did not fit in. So I needed to learn from others in that way, which necessarily may not be bad if you think about it, but in the long run, that just meant like I can't just trust myself. So trusting yourself, very important. I'm just gonna plug that right there. But beliefs, limiting beliefs, and the way to really become aware of them is to be present in your moments, and to take a step back when you find yourself triggered or making decisions, and even just taking the time to sit in silence, whether that be in meditation or otherwise, or just breathing, doing some pranayama, doing yoga is helpful to kind of go through that self-discovery experience. You could do some shadow work if you're into that kind of stuff. But there are many different ways to kind of inquire within, to ask yourself questions, to analyze what is going on and what is kind of creating the situation to occur, because your beliefs really shape how you live your life. So you want them to be all empowering and to line up with who you are today. Our beliefs will change, and the fact that our subconscious mind is holding on to these old things that used to happen a long time ago, it may not be serving us today. I mean, we've changed, right? Just know that it is possible to rewire and reconstruct them so that they really line up to who you are and what you desire in life. So number 4 is overanalyzing. I said this like a lot while I was talking about beliefs, but it's good to like analyze and like kind of look within and inquire within and stuff like that, but it's not good to overanalyze and really stick inside of that rational mind. It's great to be realistic and you need to be practical, but if you're stuck over analyzing everything and not being able to live from the heart, or really inquire the heart in certain situations and actually move through different feelings and emotions, you can get caught up here with all your crazy monkey mind thoughts. So overanalyzing really just doesn't leave any room for surprises and magic for the universe or God, whatever you believe in, to give you new experiences, to give you more, to show you what could really be in store for you. So if you're too busy over analyzing things and trying to like organize everything and plan everything, you're not going with the flow. And there is a certain balance between like going with the flow and kind of planning things out. And you'll find that within yourself. It's different for all of us, and it's not something that we can just like switch to and say, okay, yeah, I'm flowing now, but I have a little bit of plan. You just need to have some room to be able to listen to yourself and your intuition and just this inner guidance, and just know that it's okay to like jump off the plan or off the to-do list and just like kind of move away from your itinerary, I guess, in life. So just know it's not always a bad thing. It could show you something that is better aligned with you, that is actually going to be a huge beneficial growth experience, or something that's just literally going to change your life. A lot of the things that change our lives are things that we never expected. Just as if you looked in your past and maybe a traumatic situation was something that you realize today has changed your life for the better. It has shaped you to who you are now. This awareness that you have now shows you how powerful maybe your story has been for you. So just knowing that there are surprises and there's a lot of magic that can come your way, but you need to be able to just kind of like let go of all those crazy thoughts and just overanalyzing things, and come back to yourself, that you can just listen to yourself and not only just your mind and your thoughts. Like, it's good to have that side of you, just knowing that you already know what is good for you within. So if you have a feeling and it says go off track for a little bit, like we're gonna go off-roading, it's gonna be great. go for it. And number 5 is routines. So I know it might sound weird, like routines limit us in life. When I say routines, it's great to have a routine, okay? It's great to have a ritual or routine that you do maybe every morning or night. But does this allow you for room to like change it up? So changing up your routine, does it allow you to surprise yourself? Does it allow you to learn something new? Like, do you schedule things in your routine that's different from what you're used to? Because if you're doing the same thing all the time, every single day, like you wake up, you have your smoothie, you go to work, you come back, you do some homework, whatever, you look on social media, watch a movie, go to bed, or go work out, go to bed. Like, you have a plan. A lot of us, especially with just how life works, we work, like we wake up, do our thing, work, go to sleep. And this is okay. But just know that in those moments that you do have, try to change it up, because that's going to allow you to really learn more about yourself. That's kind of why I wanted to add this as number 5. Your routine may have been working for a long time. Maybe it's still working right now, but eventually you need to surprise yourself. You need to surprise your brain. You need to surprise your heart to really figure out, like, what else can I be exploring about myself to really further and expand my horizon in life, so that you can really experience the things that you've always wanted to experience. Like, it's okay to get out of your comfort zone and do something new. We don't want to stay in our little boxes in our comfort zone, like, this is working for me right now. This is all really revolved around opening yourself up to possibilities. And if you're in a routine and you're kind of just gonna eventually get into autopilot, take some time to think about, like, how can you be more open to experiencing new things in your routine, in your daily routine. So kind of get off autopilot, basically. That could be definitely limiting you. We don't want to do the same thing all the time, especially if you're a big dreamer. Like, I'm a big dreamer. If I do the same thing for too long, I get too comfortable and I either am not inspired to do the things that I've wanted to do or the things that I have been doing, or I just get like really depressed and down because I'm not able to go and do the things that like I dream of doing that really light me up and inspire me. So something like that. And if you're someone that's like scared of change and moving things around, that just means you're ready to get out of your comfort zone. This is good, okay? And this is a way to kind of face your fears as well. And it's going to open so many doors and possibilities for your life. So I wrote down as kind of a bonus one, I don't really want to call it 6 because it's not something that can be limiting us from the possibilities of life and just our desires and everything. It's just something that I wanted to note, especially since we're talking about limiting factors within ourselves in our lives. So I just want to point out that there are infinite truths. And why I want to mention this is because so many of us have different truths about the same thing. So when you're watching YouTube videos, when you're talking to anyone, you can take what they say and may not believe it. You can just take what resonates with you, and you may not fully believe it. Maybe you have your own idea about it. That's great. Just remember that if someone has like an opinion or a way that they see things, just knowing that like, okay, that's their truth. I'm gonna respect that. That's you. I have something a little bit different that I kind of go by and it's okay. We all vibe with something different and maybe it's the same, and allowing yourself to be around the people that kind of vibe with your truth or just versions of your truth is really powerful. And just focusing on your truth instead of focusing on how like untrue other people's truths are, because I mean, you can't really define one thing as right. There are just so many different versions of different things. People are going through so many different journeys of the spiritual awakening, the spiritual journey that I would call it, that maybe so many other people are calling something completely else, but we're all doing something kind of generally the same thing. So just knowing that there are different ways to go about things, and this is kind of what I talked about in the beginning. There are infinite truths, okay? It's just depending on what you vibe to and really just focusing on that. Focus on that, live with that, and if it changes, no worries. I just want to remind you to have fun, to play. We're here to have fun. We're here to play. We're here to experience life in all its lovely pleasures. So make sure that if you're doing this work, you can call it shadow work, whatever it is, this personal development work, it is okay to take breaks. It is okay to relax. It is okay to not overdo it. So if you feel like you're overdoing it and you're just unable to kind of like get out of this like one thing after another, especially since we're on this spiritual journey, one thing comes after another, and that's the experience for me anyway, and it's overwhelming. So if you're getting overwhelmed, force yourself to go out and do the things that you love. And that is the easiest way to really further raise your vibration and just make you feel a lot better and more like yourself, because you are peeling back layers of yourself to get to the core, to kind of, especially with these beliefs, to reframe and rebuild these things, or like tear down walls that you used to have. That's huge. This is huge work. So if you're going for that work, thank you. That is helping so many people. We are all connected. This is huge. It is really serving the highest good. Just remember, take care of yourself and give yourself the love that you need, and give yourself the fun that you need. Even when you're not feeling like it, it's gonna help. Trust. So that is all that I have as far as what really can limit us in our lives to actually feeling and receiving the abundance that we deserve, all the treasures that we want in life, all the dreams that we have and we hope for. Just remember that, I mean, I've said this the whole time, is all about being present. If you're present in the moment, you're really able to analyze your thoughts and kind of see them for what they are, and let the ones that aren't serving you go. Okay? And if something really bothers you, write it down. Do a little journaling. Do like a little talking. If you need to talk to someone, if you need to talk to yourself, if you need to like go work out or do some yoga or meditate, like do what you gotta do. Walk in nature. If you need to run, you do you. Okay? Just live your truth, be yourself, and know that these are all things you can kind of step over and evolve from, and truly awaken and expand from, so that you can really live the life that you deserve, because it is already yours. It's just a matter of letting go what no longer serves you anymore, what may be limiting you. And it's okay if you realize that, like, oh, I'm the one holding myself back all this time. I had that realization earlier this year, the end of 2019, where I was just realizing that I was the one that was holding myself back in so many different situations, and like my relationships too. And that made me really sad. Like, that got me really, really down to realize that I was the one doing that after I had done all this work on myself. But it is a never-ending journey, because we are beings, we evolve. Okay, this whole planet is just continually evolving, and we're a part of it. So you are going to evolve. There's going to be new things that come up that you need to release, new things that come up that resonate with you, and then maybe it doesn't anymore. It's okay to change. It is okay. And I just want to send you some love. I want to send you some love, and if you realize this about yourself, that like you're the one holding yourself back, like it's okay. That just means we have all the more power to really kind of step over these hedges as they seem. And when you look in reality with all the support and guidance that you really have, and all the love that is in the universe that is literally surrounding you all the time, you connect with that, you'll see these hedges are just like little bushes. You just step over them. You're gonna be fine. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please hit a like. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe. I do a lot of yoga videos, I do a lot of meditations, and I'm gonna start doing a lot of talks like this, so let me know in the comments down below if this is something that you kind of liked. Yeah, so much love to all of you. Sat Nam and Namaste.